All right, we're going to get ready to play a little clip for you of the pathetic, dysfunctional Jeremiah Bannister. He responded to some critics of his bigoted comments about Mitt Romney's supposed racist Mormonism and about Romney's religious garments. Listen how Jeremiah Bannister changes the subject to avoid making an intelligent argument.
And I was looking, because of the controversy surrounding the Mitt Romney's racist Mormonism video on YouTube, there are people who were really upset about it and saying, well, where did you substantiate any of this? You know, where did you actually go into detail? Because they only saw 10 minutes of it, right? It was a 40-minute long conversation. And so I went back to the episode page at publicrealityradio.org and was looking at the episodes, and I said, oh my gosh, look how many episodes there are.
All right, that was Jeremiah Bannister on his program responding to one of his critics. Besides me, there's another critic here who wants to share his criticisms and give a response to what Jeremiah Bannister just said. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. I am Miak84. I'm the one whom is probably the inspiration to that sound clip. Basically, I wasn't asking him on elaborating why Mormonism was racist. I was asking him, why is he attacking a surface feature of Mitt Romney rather than his political views? Why is he going after his religion, saying, oh, that's so crazy, basically?
Right.
Which to me seemed very bigoted.
Yes.
And so I was calling him out on that.
Right.
And I don't think he understood what I was asking.
No, he's kind of slow in a sense that he kind of doesn't understand exactly how to criticize a candidate legitimately, I think.
Yeah, well,
Slow on the uptake.
I asked him pretty clearly, how does that relate? That's what I was asking. I was kind of sarcastic when I first started. Right. And that could have put him in defensive mode. But I was just asking, how does that relate, to some degree towards something? And it doesn't necessarily has to be race. It can be religion, like you, Mr. Bannister, because your comments.
Exactly.
Your comments are pretty religious to me. I mean, they just go after religion.
Yeah, he's a devout atheist now. Now, he said that Mitt Romney's religion is racist without ever going into detail as to how it's racist. And he yet again mentioned it, but still the second time didn't actually go into any detail as to how it's racist. What say you?
I think mainly his comment. Now, I did only listen to the 10 minutes, but to those 10 minutes, it just felt to me that he was attacking Mitt Romney on a surface feature to create a fear response, and then played the race card at the end of that clip. Yeah. It had no depth to it, but it was trying to be passed off as having some depth.
Right.
Now, he didn't answer my question, and he still hasn't answered my question. I responded, that's not what I asked. And I hope by talking here, and if he hears this, he knows that I was asking, how does that relate to the Mitt Romney campaign?
Exactly.
I don't give a shit how his religion is racist. How does that relate to his policies? How do you think it relates to his policies? Anyone with half a brain would realize that this is bullshit. Anyone with approaching near a full brain would understand why.
Right. Yeah.
He immediately annoyed me, and that's very rare. People don't generally annoy me because I'm going into psychology. I want to practice psychology. Yeah. And
now that's a good point you bring up. You're a psychology major. Now, what is your psychoanalysis of Jeremiah Bannister? Now, this is just one man's opinion, but what is your psychoanalysis of him?
Oh, good one. I would think he's someone who feels inadequate. He feels inadequate.
Okay.
I don't mean
sexually. It could be in multiple ways, including that, though.
It could be, but I'm just saying in general.
Like the fact that he could be, let's say, we don't know this, I cannot confirm or deny this, but say he was impotent, and he tried to make up for it by trying to act like he's smart and knows everything. Would you say that could be something that would make sense to you as a psychologist?
I'm just going to stick and say he just feels inadequate about something.
Okay.
I don't know what.
It could be anything.
And he's using his radio station.
Maybe he got beat up. Yeah, maybe he got beat up by. Yeah, maybe he got beat up by a girl when he was in school or something. Who knows?
Whoa.
He may have. I'm serious.
Whatever. We don't know him.
We don't. Exactly.
We only know what he's saying.
We can only imagine why he feels inadequate in this way. Exactly. Now we do have another clip. This one was in response to what I said, and we'll play that for you.
Okay.
When somebody comes out with a video called "Reasons Why Not to Listen to Paleo Radio," or what's the new one? Paleo Radio. Paleo Radio equals Paleo Radio. I mean, that's almost creative. That's almost cute. I mean, I've had it better.
All right, now that was Jeremiah Bannister responding to 2 videos that I made. Now, I've made more than that. This video, after it gets released, will be number 7. Okay? But he was referring to 2 of my videos. The first one he was referring to was Reasons Why Not to Listen to Paleo Radio. And the second one was the great Paleo Radio equals Faleo Radio. Now, what say you? First, let's get your psychoanalysis of what you think of his little response.
I just think he felt threatened and hurt. I mean, it's his Paleo Radio is his baby, and he's trying to fight tooth and nail, as would be expected, for his life, for his baby.
Yeah.
I thought that the titles were pretty creative. I mean, you
You thought my titles were creative?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, non-behavior.
But anyways, I want to get to the next clip, all right? We're going to play another clip for you.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Who's the best? I mean, does that sound fair?
Yeah, and I have one quick question for you.
Sure.
Do you think that this guy could be a supposed maybe threat or danger for the students on the campus that are, a lesbian or gay, but that community?
Okay, now that was the clueless caller, guest or whatever, that was on Jeremiah Bannister's show that same day. What say you, sir, about what she said?
That are you a threat?
Yeah, she was referring to me in my comments.
Well, people have the right to freely speak about their views.
Yes.
And I can see how your views. I don't think I've heard that particular show about what she's referring to. I'm guessing you were referring to homosexuality.
I was referring to it saying, well, you remember how they were mocking the garments that Mitt Romney wears,
yes,
because of his religion. Well, they said that was strange, and in my response, I said, you know what's really strange? Gay people. That's not. I mean, I went into depth, but overall, that's what I said. I said, when you see someone that's gay or lesbian, that's strange.
Well, are you calling for the physical harm of gays and lesbians?
No, it was basically saying if you want to talk about what's weird, that.
And that was basically your opinion?
Yeah, because I don't believe that they were calling for anyone to harm Mitt Romney, calling his faith weird in any way. It's just like I wasn't calling for any sort of violence to happen to these, LGBT, or whatever the hell they call them, LGBT or whatever, any of those people. I'm just saying if you want to have a discussion about what most people find strange, I think that most people would agree that LGBT behavior, in my view, would be seen as more strange than a religious garment.
That was just your opinion. You weren't
exactly.
You weren't calling it from the way you described to me right now.
Yeah.
The way you're referring to them, just to you, gays and lesbians and transsexuals and et cetera, feel strange to you.
Yeah.
And you were just being honest with that.
Exactly.
Now, is it a popular view?
Depends on who the audience is.
Yeah, the other people on the other side.
I think it has more to do with what state you're in, because we do live in a country that is, let's face it, divided. Right? Would you agree with that? So,
oh yeah.
We have blue states and we have red
states.
Red are conservative and blue are, of course, the liberal states. People that are progressives, people that are way out there, like Jeremiah Bannister and this David Fletcher fool, who we'll get to in a moment, that's what they fit into. Sort of more this dark side, giving into emotions.
Quite honestly,
thinking with emotion.
He's just someone who is saying what he wants to say.
Exactly.
What that is, I've asked him, and I don't know.
Yeah, I know. He never gives you a straight answer. I know.
No, I mean,
I know.
I had to re-ask, and then eventually I just said, since he's taking everything that I'm saying against me, I'll try to reduce this as much as possible.
Yeah.
And basically, his last response to me was not answering my question. So I said, didn't answer my question. I left it at that.
Now we're going to get to, now there's this guy, David Fletcher. He had a guest on his program, some ditzy female with a feminist group of, we hate good-looking women or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of those. One of these,
Feminism is good, but not militant feminism.
Exactly. These Nazis, the feminazis. And she was on there talking about Rush Limbaugh's comments regarding Sandra Fluke. Now, are you aware of his comments regarding Miss Fluke?
Basically
now, what?
Yes,
like exactly, inappropriate. Now, what I would be the first to admit that what Rush did was inappropriate. Okay.
Yes.
I agree. But what this guest said caught my attention because it is so far from the truth, based on past events. But first, I want to play it for you. Okay.
Okay.
Your take on this whole incident with Rush Limbaugh demeaning, insulting a grad school student, calling her a slut and a prostitute, and saying she should post sex tapes online, and all of these awful things. What do you think about all of this?
Look, here's my thought. I mean, and I'm obviously not advocating for for what he did at all. I think it's terrible, but I think he kind of did us a favor. He certainly didn't do poor Sandra Fluke a favor, but she seems to be handling it, so I'm not too worried about her. And God bless her, because I really feel like she's taken one for the team here, and he is doing us just a gigantic favor, because he is sort of like, revealing to the world what I think a lot of people on his side really feel.
All right, now that clip had David Fletcher, the untalented radio host, who had a guest in to try to distract his audience from how much he sucks at radio. Now, what say you about her little comment regarding the supposed right-wingers that all feel the same way as Rush Limbaugh, which is basically what she was implying?
Rush Limbaugh is just an angry man.
Yeah, I would agree. He's an angry man.
He just said something that he was passionate about, and generally, I think he's just an angry man.
Yep.
And that's just his view, and he wasn't representative of the conservative view.
He didn't, basically what you mean. You agree with me that he doesn't represent the entire conservative ideological group. You think he represents the heart.
But even then, that view
because I'm going to bring this up, actually, because you bring up an interesting point. Now, I can name 3 other radio talk hosts or television hosts that have gotten in trouble, but they're not right-wing, they're left-wing. And I'm going to tell you who they are.
Okay.
The first one is Ed Schultz. He has an MSNBC program, and he is also on the radio. Mm-hmm. He's a left-winger. He's a liberal piece of garbage. And he called Laura Ingraham, a right-wing talk host, a female, he called her a right-wing slut back in May of 2011. Okay? And that didn't get nearly as much coverage as this garbage concerning Rush Limbaugh. Now, I don't advocate either one of them, but I'm all about equal opportunity and being fair, and obviously this isn't fair. The other idiot is Bill Maher, who said that Sarah Palin does commentary for Fox News, which is similar to her day job, talking to a baby with Down syndrome.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember that comment.
Exactly. And nothing ever happened. And Keith Olbermann, he's the next one, which, by the way, he got fired again from Current TV, like the pathetic nobody piece of garbage that he is. He called Michelle Malkin a mashed up bag of meat with lipstick on it. And all 3 of these guys, now I can keep going, but we don't have enough time for any more of the left-wingers that use this kind of hateful rhetoric. And the fact that there's one right-winger that said this, and she's trying to paint that to the whole conservative ideology, is ridiculous.